Hello and welcome to VNA News. You're watching the bulletin. Coming up next, we have your top stories.
The 6th Congress of the Central Public Security Party Organization opens in Hanoi. Defense ministers from ASEAN nations and China meet in Beijing. An exhibition on Hoàng Sa Trường Sa archipelagos kicks off in Điện Biên province.
The 6th Congress of the Central Public Security Party Organization for the 2015 to 2020 tenure opened in Hanoi on October 16th. Present at the Congress were State President Trương Tấn Sang and Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng, among others.
In a political report delivered at the Congress, Minister of Public Security General Trần Đại Quang said, despite complex developments in the region and the world during the last 5 years, the Forces Party Committee has successfully accomplished all the goals and missions set in the resolution from the Central Public Security Party Organization's 5th Congress. The two-day event is reviewing achievements and shortcomings in the implementation of the party organization's 5th Congress resolution, while setting up goals and missions for the 2015-2020 term. In his speech, Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng said, the force has been completely faithful to the party, fatherland and people. It has made active and accurate forecasts and proposed a number of solutions and strategies regarding security, order and socio-economic development to the party and state, thus helping safeguard national security and sovereignty. The force has employed comprehensive measures to ensure social security and order, defeat sabotage plots of hostile forces, and guarantee complete safety for important political events.
An informal meeting between the Chinese defense minister and his counterparts from ASEAN member countries took place in Beijing on October 16th. Defense Minister General Phùng Quang Thanh headed the Vietnamese delegation.
Opening the meeting, Chinese Defense Minister Senior Lieutenant General Chiang Wang-Quan said China wants to cooperate with ASEAN to maintain security and stability in the region. He reiterated senior Chinese leaders' promise not to invade neighboring countries regardless of the extent to which China develops. Regarding the East Sea issue, the Chinese minister said China wishes to settle disputes through negotiations and peaceful consultations on the basis of respecting freedom of navigation and aviation in the East Sea and in line with international law. For his part, Minister Phùng Quang Thanh said, as a member of ASEAN, Vietnam always attaches its security to the regional security. Therefore, Vietnam's consistent position is to promote the mutually beneficial comprehensive cooperation with China and tackle the East Sea-related matters through peaceful measures. Vietnam and China must work together to seek solutions acceptable to both sides, thus helping to maintain peace and stability for mutual development and benefits of ASEAN and Vietnam. On this occasion, the Vietnamese minister suggested that ASEAN and China should step up defense cooperation in several aspects.
The achievements that Vietnam has gained in agriculture is significantly ensuring food security and implementing the UN Millennium Development Goals. The information was released at an event to mark World Food Day in the northern province of Lào Cai.
Jong Habe, a representative from the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, told the October 15 event that the outcomes were attributable to the farmers' engagement in cultivating activities and application of new technologies to cope with climate change. The theme of the 2015 World Food Day is social protection and agriculture, breaking the cycle of rural poverty. It holds significance to Vietnam, especially when the country is striving to build high-tech agriculture to ensure sustainable food security, rural modernization, and poverty reduction, said Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Lê Quốc Doanh. Vietnam has around 10 million farm households with over 30 million rural workers, accounting for some 70% of the country's labor force and contributing 20% to the national gross domestic product. Vietnam is among the global leading exporters of farm produce such as rice, pepper, cashew nut, cassava, tea, rubber, and seafood. The proportion of hunger slid to 6% in the previous year from 58% in 1993. However, the rate of poverty in Vietnam remains high, especially in rural, remote, and ethnic minority areas. To help farmers increase their income from agriculture, the Vietnamese government has been carrying out a restructuring program in this field, with special focus on promoting science technology application and increasing production value chain connection.
As many as 4,730 households in the southern province of Dong Nai will be relocated to make room for construction of the Long Thanh International Airport.
To offer satisfactory compensation to the families and help them quickly restabilize their lives was the main topic of a meeting in the province on October 15, which was attended by officials from relevant departments, agencies, and localities in Dong Nai. Dinh Quốc Thái, chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, stressed the need to cautiously assess compensation options to ensure stable livelihoods for the affected residents in terms of accommodations, livelihoods, education, and health care. The Long Thanh International Airport project was approved by the National Assembly in June this year. Once completed, the airport will be able to handle 100 million passengers and 5 million tons of freight a year. The construction is scheduled to begin in 2019, and the airport is likely to become operational by 2023. The total cost of the three-phase project is estimated to be $14.95 billion. The project's funding is expected to come from the state budget, official development assistance, corporate investment, and public-private partnership, among other resources.
On October 16, the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee launched the Month for the Poor with the attendance of Deputy Prime Minister Vũ Văn Ninh, head of the Central Steering Committee for Sustainable Poverty Reduction. At the launching ceremony, the Deputy Prime Minister said synchronous mechanisms and policies, along with aid for building homes, healthcare, education and vocational training, have been put in place to help low-income earners escape poverty in a sustainable manner. Vietnam slashed the rate of impoverished households from 58% in 1993 to 5.97% by late 2014, becoming an outstanding example of poverty eradication, as recognized by the UN and the international community. Ninh underscored an array of challenges facing Vietnam as it rapidly and sustainably reduces poverty, especially amid international integration. Initial data showed that during the first 9 months of 2015, more than $25.67 million was donated to the Fund for the Poor, helping the fund build and repair nearly 19,600 houses for low-income earners. The Vietnam Pictorial under the Vietnam News Agency officially launched a Korean language version of its website to mark the issuance of the first publication. More in the following.
Speaking at the event, General Director of the Vietnam News Agency, Nguyễn Đức Lợi, urged Vietnam Pictorial to maintain the site and update it regularly with high-quality content. He also expressed his hope that the magazine's staff will promote activeness and creativity to make Vietnam Pictorial a strong, effective unit of the agency. Meanwhile, Editor-in-Chief of Vietnam Pictorial Nguyễn Thắng said he hopes the newly launched Korean online version will serve as a bridge promoting connection between the two countries, deepening the bilateral strategic partnership for the prosperity and happiness of the two peoples.
An exhibition featuring legal and historical evidence affirming Vietnam's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa archipelagos, known as Paracel and Spratly in English, opened in the northern province of Điện Biên on October 16th.
On display are valuable photos, objects, documents, publications, and nearly 100 maps in Vietnamese and foreign languages discovered by both domestic and foreign researchers.
The exhibits are part of legal and historical evidence collected in Vietnam and other countries, including China. They prove Vietnam's sacred sovereignty over the archipelagos, indispensable territorial parts of the country. Following the exhibition, the documents and maps will be moved to districts and towns in the province for further display.
The exhibits are in the Han, Classical Chinese, Vietnamese and French languages, issued by Vietnamese feudal states and the French government in Indochina on behalf of the then Vietnamese state since the 17th century. All pieces on display affirm that Vietnam has established and exercised its rightful sovereignty of the two archipelagos. The 5-day exhibition aims to raise public awareness, especially among the youth, about protecting and affirming the country's sovereignty over Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa.
7 Russian classical and modern literature books translated into Vietnamese have been made public in Hanoi. More details coming up next.
Director of the Russian Center of Science and Culture, Elena Robertovna Zuzova, said the publication of the books is in the 4th phase of the project on translating literature from Russian into Vietnamese and vice versa. Began in 2012, the project has contributed to fostering friendship and cooperation between Vietnam and Russia. The translation of the books aims to have young Vietnamese understand about Russian literature and culture. I hope more young local people could love to read Russian books in the future. Some of the books include renowned Travel Around Asia by Vazamsky A, featuring the beauty of the landscapes, culture and history of Vietnam in the late 19th century. A Fool by Dostoevsky, reflecting the livelihood of Russian aristocrats in the 19th century, and The Marxism and Linguistic Philosophy by Voloshinovy.
The project is hoped to create room for Vietnamese readers to access masterpieces of Russian literature.
Under the project, 25 Russian literature books have been translated into Vietnamese. All of these books are provided to libraries, schools, and social organizations.
Foreign and local puppeteers joined an art performance on October 15th at the Lam Sơn Theatre in the northern central province of Thanh Hóa as part of the ongoing 4th International Puppetry Festival.
The artists come from Vietnam's Thăng Long Puppetry Theatre, Germany's Anna Fabuli Puppet Theatre, and Russia's Moscow State Puppet Theatre. The 4th International Puppetry Festival, running in Hanoi from October 10th to 16th, has drawn puppeteers from East Host Country and 9 others. Foreign troops are also scheduled to perform in the northern provinces of Nam Định, Ninh Bình, Hải Dương, and Vĩnh Phúc. Vietnam is famous around the world for its unique, attractive water puppetry. Water puppetry is believed to have come from villages in the Red River Delta in the 11th century, when performing guilds from 9 northern provinces practiced the art. Evidence of the link between water puppetry and farming can be seen in the traditional puppetry guilds, which are located around the fertile land of the Red River Delta. This area consists of numerous rivers and is often prone to flooding.
And that has wrapped up our news bulletin. Thank you for your attention. For more information, please log on to our website at www.vietnamplus.vn.